Hey, my name is Gabriel Daftian,
Hi, I'm Juliet McKeegan.
and our group name is M&D Media, and we're just going to do the little video about some of the stuff that we learned this week. So to start off will be Juliet.
Before we went into the interviews, we initially thought that students would be hesitant towards ads, as that is the case with most people, including ourselves. Um, as for what they would be using a music app for, it's more along the lines of focusing, limiting distraction, getting through very mundane activities like studying and like doing chores. And another thing that we thought that they would essentially want is they would want the cheaper option for premium services, as students technically, as we said, do not like ads, and so they would want premium services for the lower cost.
Yeah, and it was only during our interviews that we found out sort of different information. Three of the interviews we did were conducted by all three of them were students, but we found a lot of sort of differences in their responses. So our first student, his name is Winton. He absolutely hates ads. He would not even put up with it. He wouldn't even put up with a 10-second ad for a free song. So that's how much he disliked the ads and features and was willing to pay Spotify to get rid of ads and features. John, his biggest issue was is that he wanted a place where the music was centralized and that the service was cheaper, but he was okay generally with dealing with ads. Another interviewee was Grace. She liked that she was using what was she
Apple
using?
Music.
Apple Music, and she liked that the music was offline in one place, no intrusive ads. But she would go to a free service if they had no intrusive ads either. So the general thing that we found was is that the user pains was a lack of sort of centralization in the music prior to the service that they're using now, which is why they went to their new service. They disliked ads, which is why they are going to a premium service, but they also were not a fan of the high costs that are associated with it.
Yeah. So going forward, as in terms of like our MVP, we decided that it's going to be a mobile-based application, as that is the device that most people use to listen to music. Features that we're going to be excluding are definitely podcasts and video functions, as people who are listening to their music usually have their phone off and in their back pocket. So that's not something that we need to include. Non-intrusive ads are going to be a big yes for the MVP, just because that is what our entire application is going to revolve around, and especially including downloadable content for offline listening, just because most of our interviewees said expressly that they use a lot of data, and the option to have offline listening with no data usage is going to be a really big deal. And another thing that we really need to include is wide content selection, just because people have different tastes, and this will give our user base a chance to grow once it starts. So
That's it for now. Until next week.